Hello everyone. In today's tutorial, we are going to look at the online accreditation of assessment centers. So once you go to the UVTAB website, which is under uvtab.go.ug, under the services section, you'll find a menu item for accreditation. So once you click the accreditation menu item, you'll be redirected to the accreditation portal, which is at accreditation.uvtab.go.ug. So depending on when, if a recent circular has been uploaded, you'll often get pop-ups like this to notify you of a recent upload and prompting if you would wish to read it or not. So in this case, we shall say not now. And this site will be able to give you all the information you need regarding the accreditation of the assessment centers that have been given the license by the TVET Council. So the whole process will contain three main steps whereby you as an institution you apply online. The UVTAB team will verify you and inspect your institution, and at the end of it all, you'll get accredited. Still on this same page, you have the categories of the TVET providers that need accreditation, the skills development centers, the vocational training institutes, and the technical technologies. And then when you continue and scroll down on this page, you'll be able to see a summary of the guidelines needed as an assessment center to be accredited. So you need a valid license, physical and practical infrastructure, minimum candidate enrollment. For example, for this particular requirement, if you do not meet a minimum of 30 candidates in total and a minimum of 5 candidates enrolled in each program occupation, your application will not be able to be submitted. You see the programs and enrollment breakdown, the institution management structure or the organogram, the evidence of the trainers' employment that will be handling these programs, head of the TVET providers. We shall need evidence of the room for assessment materials, assessment focal persons, memorandum of understanding, which is optional, and a proof of payment, which should be, in quotes, should be made using the institution's name. So once you at the end of this particular page, you'll be able to find an option to download the guidelines, which will come in a detailed PDF format. So you could optionally choose to read this through if you need all the details regarding the guidelines for accreditation. So once you're ready to apply, all you need to do is come and here and click apply for accreditation. So to be able to apply for accreditation, you need an institutional account. That's why that link is prompting us to log in. And if we do not have an account already, can create an account. So come here and you click don't have an account. So you'll be required to enter the institutional email address. I'll use demo center in this case. And you'll also be required to enter the institutional phone number. So after this, you'll be able to, the email will need to be verified, and soon enough we shall also have the phone numbers verified. So you'll send a verification code, which will be received on your email, the institutional email. So I can see it has been sent here. I'll copy this, paste here, then I can verify the email address. Once this is done, I can go ahead and proceed to create my account. So my password. I can proceed to create the account. So once the account has been created, once again, this accreditation process is for institutions or assessment centers that have been licensed by the TVET Council. So if you've been licensed by the TVET Council, we expect you to have a license number that you'll use in this application process. So in my case, I'm going to copy the license number and paste it here. So I'll paste the license number here, and then I'll go ahead and look up my center. So once you click that button, the details of your particular center will be fetched for you to confirm. So in this case, this is a demo center tool for the purposes of this tutorial, and we see the categories of vocational training institute and the license number is provided here. So once you confirm these are your details, you can go ahead, you click confirm and continue. So on the next page, you'll be redirected to the form that you need to fill for this accreditation process. So some of these details can be pre-filled, such as the name of the institution, the license number. You'll be required to enter the date of issuance. We could say it was 1st July 2026 as an example, and the expiry date is, let me say, 2028, still maybe 30th June. And then the details, this process is currently for the private institutions, so some of these come already pre-filled. You'll be required to enter the copy of the valid TVET council license. Go ahead and upload one here. You'll be required to upload a proof of payment, which should be made using the institutional names, depending on the amount varies depending on the category of the institution. You could also optionally upload the registration certificate, but this is not mandatory. You also be required to enter the address details of this particular institution. So for example, say this is in Kampala, Kawempe Division. They just say Kawempe 1. The nearest police station, this is a mandatory field, Kawempe Police Station. And then the box number, or your PO box number. Then you enter the telephone contacts of the institutions and the official email address once again. And then if you as an institution have a website, you could attach it here, but this is an option not to cater for institutions that do not have a website. Then you can proceed on to the next section of this application. You'll be required to enter the type of the provider. We have sole proprietor, limited by shares, or church founded. So if it's limited by shares, we see you will be required to add more than one, indicating each owner's shares. But in this case, we could go with sole proprietor. Enter the name of the proprietor. Sorry, I'll say Muliro Dennis. Place of residence is Kawempe. Telephone number is this. The qualifications, let's say he has a master's. Then you enter the details of the head of the center. This one of the Dockers. Enter the place of residence, email address, the box number, their qualification. Let's say she has a degree. The duration of her contract. Let's say it's 4 years. Then you enter the official academic documents and curriculum vitae. Then you still be required to enter the details of the director of studies. I'll say Amito Agnes. So residence is Kawempe. Phone number, their email address. Box number and their qualifications. Let's say she has got a diploma. Then you can then proceed on to the next section. And then the next section is you'll be required to provide the details of the assessment task force or the personnel who will be responsible for the assessment. A minimum of 3 people are required, but if you as an institution have more, you can always use this button to add extra members. So you can enter the details here. Dennis maybe fitting to Moses, maybe say Nandutu Christine, example. Then you'll be required to enter the evidence of the trainer's employment on full-time and part-time basis. You'll also be required to attach their copies of appointments or contracts of employment with each trainer or instructor employed by the TVET provider. Their qualifications will also be required. So in this section, you'll be able to upload multiple files. You could choose to upload multiple files. Sorry, just select this and this as an example. And then you also be required to enter the institution's management structure or the organogram, sorry about that. So come and select the organogram. You proceed on to the next section. Now, the TVET can also be able to provide the programs that were licensed for you to teach. So these programs automatically come here, and you'll not be able to add any extra programs that you are not licensed to teach. So what you'll be required to do under this section is enter the duration of these programs and how many candidates are enrolled in these particular programs. So right here. You also be required to enter the details of your assessment rooms or halls. And if you have more than one, you'll be able to use this button to indicate all the assessment rooms you have. For this particular tutorial, we shall use only one. You enter the dimensions in square meters. Let's say this is 80. How many number of openings are there? The windows, the doors. Let's say there are 8. The ventilation, you enter a brief description of the ventilation in this particular assessment room. The basic facilities in this assessment room, you enter all the facilities from the desks, the chairs, whiteboards, and so forth. And the capacity of this room, let's say this capacity is for 70 candidates. You also be required to enter the details of your workshop laboratories. We could say electrical installation workshop. Its dimensions, let's say it's 50, and the total number of equipment in this particular laboratory, say 15. And then this is also key, the library or resource centers or the ICT integration rooms, say maybe main libraries, and how many number of computers are in this particular library. We shall say maybe 15. Oh, I see this was 0. I could select 10 equipment. Then we can proceed on to the next section, which is the facilities section. So in this case, you'll be required to describe the available space for the office accommodation and the storage facilities for temporary storage of assessment materials and examinations. We could say we have one secure storage room for assessment materials. Then you also be required to enter a brief detailed description for the distance of the washrooms from the assessment center, and also indicate if they are separate from, if the boys washrooms are separate from the girls washrooms. We also enter brief descriptions. Approximately 12 meters from the assessment hall. With the boys washrooms different from the girls washrooms. So once that is done, if you have a memorandum of understanding, you could choose to upload it for this section, but it is optional. Then you can proceed on to the next. So when you reach this stage, you'll be able to review the application before you submit it to confirm that everything is correct. The reason we have this review section is for you to confirm that everything is correct, because once you submit it, you'll not be able to edit it. Yeah, so you can go through everything that you filled in the form. You'll be able to have a preview of the documents you uploaded for all the different various sections. If you notice you made an error, you can still go back to the forms. All your information will be saved and it will not be lost. And you can also always, for example, click this to go back to the very first page, or maybe go to edit the particular details that you need to edit. So we shall go ahead and go back to the review section, since all this information was already pre-filled and was already saved. So on this review section, you'll be required to declare that the information you've provided is indeed correct. So Dennis, designation principal, phone number, mail address, and the date will automatically pick the current date on which you're filling this form. Then after, you'll be required to click this. I declare that the information provided in this form is true and correct. So after that, you can go ahead and submit your application. So upon submission, you'll be provided by this particular reference number. You can always use for tracking your application, or that you can always use for making inquiries in case you need details regarding your particular application. So once this is submitted, we see we are being informed that our application is locked and is awaiting license verification. So if we come back to the dashboard, we shall be able to see that our application was submitted, and the UVTAB staff will be able to review it. And once they approve that all the documents that were uploaded were correct and authentic, it will be submitted for payment review, upon which the staff will still review the status of the payment and confirm the money was actually paid. After that, the institution will go in the state of inspection or awaiting inspection, after which the staff will come to your particular institutions, inspect them, after which you'll be accredited if everything is okay. So once you log in, you can always come to this particular dashboard to view the status of your particular application. And more to this, you also have a contact us section, which can be accessed from the homepage or your particular portal section, as we see here. So under the contact us section, you'll be able to find the details, the email you could use in case you had an inquiry. You could send an email to this particular email, or you could call any of these numbers. This information will always be updated from time to time, so it is always important to check on the portal. Or you could also alternatively enter the details here, and then you send a message, then someone will reach out and offer assistance. So that is how the online accreditation of assessment centers will happen going forward. Thank you, everyone.